Ice stop. Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing the third video on the weekly schedule, and that is the state of the Saints heading into week blank. This week, of course, we have week 3, and today we're going to be updating you on the injury report, the standings, giving you last week's player of the game, and talking about some things we need to fix around this team to go ahead and get victories from here on out. We're heading into week 3. Let's talk about the state of the Saints. The first thing we had to talk about is, of course, the injury report. And when you look at this injury report, the two main things that you notice is that the New Orleans Saints star receiver and the Green Bay Packers star receiver, they've both been kept out of practice this week. That's a big deal. Both of these teams could be going into the Sunday Night Football matchup without their star wide receivers. That's insane. The Green Bay Packers do have other players to lean on. The Saints, we're not really sure how our offense is going to do without Michael Thomas. We won week 1 with him getting 17 yards, and that's it. But in week 2, we seemed to struggle a bit. I'm sure Sean Payton will draw up a better game plan, but it seemed to be a big detriment to us against the Las Vegas Raiders. But the Green Bay Packers are not going to be – they could not have Davante Adams. He did not practice on Wednesday or Thursday with a hamstring injury, and Ian Rappaport said on Twitter that it doesn't look good in his opinion as far as Davante Adams coming to play on Sunday night. So that's something to look at. Definitely keep an eye on those two wide receivers. Other notable injuries, one would be Kenny Clark for the Green Bay Packers, a really premier defensive lineman for them. He was limited, actually, so he did not participate, and then he was limited with a groin injury. We don't know his status yet, but he is limited. One for the New Orleans Saints that is extremely notable would be Marcus Davenport, who is finally limited after not practicing at all leading up to week 3. He is limited, and we may be getting him back. We have not seen this dude play in a while. He's constantly injured. We gave up 2 first-round picks for him. But when he is on the field, he is Pro Bowl level talent. He just has to stay out there. That is his #1 problem, and the thing that the New Orleans Saints have dwelled on most as far as looking back on that pick goes. Teron Armstead was limited with a groin injury. Malcolm Brown did not participate, but Malcolm Roach has been playing fantastic, so that's not something to really worry about. Chase Hansen has not been practicing at all. He didn't practice. And, of course, you have Michael Thomas. So that's about as far as the injury report goes. You have J.R. Scott on the Packers who didn't participate. And then a bunch of Mercedes Lewis didn't participate. That's a pretty big one. But if you look here, it says not injury related, veteran rest on Wednesday and probably on Thursday as well. So there goes that. They're getting Jair Alexander back, and there's nothing really else notable to look at here. So the next thing I want to talk about is the standings. The New Orleans Saints are leading the NFC South at 1-1, and they play the Green Bay Packers this week, which could go either way. Flip a coin. That's who the winner is of this game, in my opinion. We just have to wait until Sunday night to see. There's not really any predicting that can be done here. We don't know how these teams are going to play on Sunday, so we just have to look forward to that one. The second in the division is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are second because of their week 1 loss to the New Orleans Saints. They play the Denver Broncos, which, holy hell, are the Broncos injured. No Drew Lock, no Courtland Sutton, no Von Miller, no AJ Boye. They have so many missing pieces. It isn't even a fair. I don't even know if Philip Lindsay is going to play. They have so many injuries. It's pretty much a gimme win for Tom Brady and his basic ass butt cheek Buccaneers, who are garbage. I don't like them. I hate them. I have now a newfound rivalry for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Didn't mind them ever up until now, but now that I see Tommy Terrific screaming at the refs after every single play and cussing out players like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, it just bothers me. So they're playing the butt cheek booty Broncos, who are super injured. The Bucs are going to win this game. Next, we have the Falcons, who are 0-2 versus the Chicago Bears, and they're playing the Chicago Bears this week. Nobody cares. Panthers are 0-2. They play the Chargers with Justin Herbert getting his second full start after he almost beat the Chiefs last week. This is something to watch. I mean, the only team that I can really surefire say is getting a win this week is Tampa Bay. There's no way they lose to Denver, and if they do, they just need to delete the franchise because it's not destiny at this point. And if we do lose to the Green Bay Packers, boys, The Buccaneers will take their first division lead of the year, which would be a really big bag fumbling moment for the New Orleans Saints after getting to a 1-0 lead in the division after beating the Buccaneers. So it doesn't matter too much right now because we're still super early into the season. So I wouldn't go ahead and get too scared about that one. Now let's go over last week's player of the game, and we have, of course, you saw it coming, Alvin Kamara. I don't know how any other player on this roster gets this award other than Alvin Kamara. Now, it's not very prestigious because this is a pretty small channel, but I think it's a pretty nice award to get for Alvin Kamara. So, against the Las Vegas Raiders, I almost said the Oakland Raiders, that would have been bad. He had 13 rushing attempts for 79 rushing yards, a 6.1 average, and 2 touchdowns. Why didn't Sean Payton rush him more? I could not tell you. He also managed to have 9 receptions for 95 yards with a 10.6 average, no rushing touchdowns, but he still had 2 touchdowns on the ground. This dude, Alvin Kamara, has had 2+ touchdowns in 4 straight games. Dating back to last season, this dude is absolutely insane. Shout out to Alvin Kamara. I think he deserves this little award more than anybody else we have on this team. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the things we need to fix on this team. 1, without a doubt, offensive rhythm. And I think that's going to be fixed this week. Go ahead and write it down. I said it. I think that the New Orleans Saints are going to be the best offensively they've been this season this week. Not only do they face a Green Bay Packers defense who is kinda subpar, not super subpar, but kinda subpar, Drew Brees has been getting it all week. All over the media, all you see is Drew Brees is declining. Drew Brees isn't as good as he used to be. Even in my comment section, you can find people saying Drew Brees is washed. This dude is going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. Number 9 has been playing with a chip on his shoulder since he entered the league, since he had that injury versus the Denver Broncos and screwed up his shoulder real bad. He's been playing against adversity forever. A couple of bad games, look for Drew Brees to have a big turnaround on Sunday. If I jinxed it, I jinxed it, but we'll see. If he doesn't turn things around on Sunday, it's definitely a big area of concern to be had. This would be the Raiders game was pretty bad for him. The Buccaneers game was pretty bad for him. The Vikings game last year in the wild card round was pretty bad for him. So that's 3 straight bad games, which would be made 4 if we lose to the Packers. Not if we lose the Packers, but if Drew Brees plays subpar to the Packers. So, offensive rhythm is definitely something that has to be fixed this week. Give the ball to Alvin Kamara more. Give Traquan Smith more opportunities. After that start against the Raiders last week, I want to see him more. Get things going. The next thing I want to talk about are penalties. We cannot win games if we have these whack-ass penalties. 139 penalty yards, bro. What? Against the Raiders? Why? Why? Darren Waller torched us, but we had more penalty yards than Darren Waller had receiving yards. That's how bad we were as far as penalties went against the Las Vegas Raiders. Stop that. We are not going to beat the Green Bay Packers if we have a lot of penalties. Say it slowly. We're not. We won't. We cannot. We won't. We literally will not. The fact that we had 139 yards in penalties given up, 139 yards, and had 13 minutes less of time of possession and still had a chance to go down and win that game, says a lot about this team. Hang in there, boys. The upside's coming. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of State of the Saints. If you enjoyed it, comment down below. If not, that's okay. Sorry for being so laxed. I mean, the State of the Saints is usually my just talk about what's on my mind videos. I don't really come up here with a bunch of stats and all that stuff. I just talk about what's on my mind. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment down in the comment section below what you've noticed going on. And I'll see you boys in the next one.
0 gravity falling. Like I'm jumping on a trampoline.